All right, hello and welcome to another video by Johnny IELTS. So let's do some speaking today. Um, so task one first, as always. Let's go to 73. It's about day off. Ngày được nghỉ. So day off. So Miss Sarah, when was the last time you had a day off? Do you remember?
Yes, I think the latest day off from me is on test holiday.
During the
And
New Year, you mean?
yes, during the Happy New Year holiday, I
Let's
had
use the word the Lunar New Year, I think. During the Lunar New Year, yes. Or because this is a name that everyone will understand, you know.
okay.
Cái tên này người ta ai cũng sẽ hiểu. Lunar New Year. You can use the word Chinese New Year if you want to, but I don't like that name. Anyway,
Yes.
so what do you usually do when you have days off, Miss Sarah?
When I had long holiday, I will visit my parents, and
Hmm.
because I live
You
far
don't live
from
together
home.
with them?
Yes, I live far from my parents.
No, I don't live far. I don't live with them. No.
No, no, I don't live with them. I live far from home, around 3 hours traveling by car.
3 hours traveling by car. Wow, that's far.
Yeah.
That's really far. Are you all the way in Hanoi or something?
Yes, I locate my location in Hanoi and my hometown is Thái Bình province.
Oh, I see. You know, Thailand is also the province of one of the most famous IELTS teacher in Vietnam. You know that? You know him?
Who is that? I have no.
I think Thận, yeah. He's also has a hometown in Thailand, yeah. Five
I
minutes about IELTS. Have you heard about him, Thận?
I have heard about him before.
Yeah, I have no idea where he is now. He's in Canada now. Anyway,
Maybe.
yeah. So, Mr. When was the last time you had a few days off? You remember? I'm sure you will love it.
I remember that Lu Lunar New Year's uh, is the last time I had about 5 days off,
Oh,
and my companies was the ones that has the least day off in that events.
oh my God. Your company has the least day and the least number of days.
Yes,
That sounds terrible.
yes, because I had to work on Saturday, so that's why I love my day off so much because I rarely
I
had
feel bad for my students now.
yes has a long uh days off.
I see. But when you have days off, what do you usually do?
Oh, to be honest, I didn't um, travel for uh mm, travel I don't usually travel for uh
You mean travel far away or
for
go
race.
anywhere
Oh,
or go anywhere during days off?
yes, I just love uh being at home and enjoys my days alone. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's better than having a holiday trip.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
Sometimes
that feels better. Yeah.
yes, I just think that I need to rest, um, live a little, and enjoys my days
Mm-hmm.
at home. Yes, it's okay for me. I don't need to tra travel. Some things like that to have a wonderful holiday, you know.
Let's see. So, Miss Sarah, do you usually spend your days off with your parents or with your friends?
Yes, it depends on the number of days off. If I have a long holiday, I will visit my parents.
I will
I
visit my
will I will
sometimes
visit
you will, yeah.
I will visit my parents because it take a half a day for traveling. So yeah, but it's valuable for me.
It's quite
But
valuable for me.
yes, but if I just have 1 or 2 days off from work, I prefer to spend time with my friends, just hanging out the city and shopping some interesting thing. So
Interesting things, I see. Having some interesting things. I see. So, what would you like to do if you had days off tomorrow, Miss Sarah? Like, let's say that tomorrow is your days off. If you
yes,
have it, what would
actually,
you like to do?
tomorrow is my day off. That's uh, yeah, I just tend to spend a day for cleaning house and
Cleaning
for
my home, you mean?
cleaning my home and travel and
Oh,
was and go shopping and buy some foods for weekend because
weekend.
I, yes, because in weekday I prefer have a quick
I
meal.
prefer to
I
have,
prefer to have a quick meal, so I don't really spend so much time for cooking. Uh,
me too,
and I will spend the weekend to cook my favorite dish.
to cook my favorite dishes, right?
Is yeah.
To cook my favorite dishes. I see. I
It,
also do the same thing too. You know, I cook once every 1.5 months, so
Mhm.
all the food is inside in my freezer.
But
And
one
whenever I want to eat them, I just bring them out and microwave them.
yeah, but
I
one
mean,
and a half month maybe quite a long time.
sorry?
Yeah.
It helped me save a lot of money that way. So, and money and time. So,
Maybe time.
so it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, so how about you, Mr. What would you like to do if you had a day off tomorrow?
If I had a day off tomorrow, the first thing I would do was to go to movie theaters
Mhm.
and enjoy new movies
Mhm.
because it's so long time ago
Mhm.
since the last time I
Since
saw
the last time
since
I,
the last time I saw a new movies.
hmm, well,
Yes,
terrible.
yes, and if I just went alone, I still went to there.
I still went there. I still go there. I still go there.
I still go there.
And
Yes.
yeah. Now, so do you usually spend your days off with your friends or with your parents or with your friends? Sure.
Almost. I usually spend my days off with my family,
Hmm.
and I love that. I love it because spending time from my parents, my family members
Mm.
is something that I always love, and I just want give them my free times to
Mm.
uh, enjoy the moment together.
Mm. I say
Sometimes I will prepare uh,
prepare, prepare,
prepare prepare some
prepare.
prepare. prepare some delicious dishes for them
Mm.
as a gift because I love baking. So I usually prepare sweet dishes. Of course, I'm a sweet tooth, so it's also my favorite one.
I'm a sweet tooth. It means you love to. I love to enjoy sweets, cakes, or anything like milk tea, etc. I think those are very sweet. Có cái răng, có gọi là có cái răng ngọt, tức là hảo hảo ăn ngọt lắm á, thèm ăn ngọt hay ham ngọt. Well, sometimes I'm a sweet tooth too. I agree. That's why I can never have a face of, let's say, an influencer, beautiful influencer, you know. I just have a fatty, fluffy face, you know. Nó hơi hơi nó phồng lên. Puffy, yeah, a bit like that. Now, let's come to part two, shall we? So part two and part three. Let's try topic number, say, no, I think we did wild animals a while ago, last
Yes.
time. And so let's do 39. Describe a polite person, you know. Polite. Miêu tả một người lịch sự mà các bạn biết. Remember, polite. Okay. Okay, you should say who he or she is, how you knew him or her, what he or she is like, and explain why you think he or she is polite. And you know, people are polite mainly because they do not wish to to make people feel angry at their behaviors, you know. They do not wish to make people mad at their behaviors. Or sometimes people are polite because of the nature of their job, you know. Bản chất công việc của họ nó bắt buộc phải là lịch sự. Like for example, if you are a service, like let's say someone who works in the service sector, then you need to be really polite always, you know. Now, so part three of politeness. So what is the standard of being polite? Cái chuẩn của chuyện lịch sự là gì? Like what is standard in Vietnam, for example, during dating, who will pay? And for example, during dating, who will serve the food? Who will where will we go? You know, during dating, they should not go to places that are impolite, you know. Like during dating, they should find places that it's okay, you know. Like people should arrive early or being on time, you know, that's important. Because being late is impolite. Of course, very impolite. I think being late is impolite. And sometimes it is disrespectful as well. And sometimes disrespectful as well. So think about eating out. Is it polite to share the food? To share the food with others? Có lịch sự khi mà ăn chung đồ ăn với người khác không? Share the food with others. Or is it polite to drink from the others' cups? You know, uống từ cái ly của người khác. Oh my God, that's super dirty. But some people they do that, you know. And some people they just don't understand what politeness is. And so they talk loudly in public, you know, or they just turn on their music volume while being in a public place. you know. Sometimes they just turn on the music volume like loudly while being in public places. Like for example, in a gym, for example, it's a public place. Phòng gym là một cái nơi public chẳng hạn. And there are some other standards of being polite. Like for example, bring gifts when you are invited to someone's home. For example, khi được mời nhà người ta phải nên đem quà chẳng hạn, something like that. I never do that. I never bring gifts. Sometimes I do, but not because I'm invited to someone's home. Thích thì tặng quà thôi chứ không phải là tại vì mình được mời mình được tặng. I mean, that's how I am. But think about all the standards of being polite. Okay. Now, what behavior will be regarded as impolite? Hành vi nào được coi như bất lịch sự? Why? You should explore this one based on what I just said, Lật ngược vấn đề lại. Just turn around the situation. Turn around the situation. And then you will see that it's impolite. For example, if you talk loudly in public, turn on your music volume while being public places, or you go late, okay? That is super impolite, I think. And also, chen hàng là siêu bất lịch sự luôn á. If you jump the queue, chen hàng, lấn hàng. Hôm nay mấy bé mèo nó cũng có vẻ nó đòi được vuốt ghê ta. I think my cat is very sensitive. They demand more attention today. I don't know why. Maybe they feel something, I think. Nó cảm thấy cái năng lượng thay đổi nha.
How many cats do you have?
Sorry?
I mean, how many cats do
I
you
have
have?
3 cats. 3.
Wow.
And my cats demand attention now. They want my attention. Oh. Okay, so do you think it's polite to say to talk while you are eating, Nói chuyện trong lúc đang ăn. Sometimes I think it's impolite, but if you are invited and you don't say anything during the meal, it's also impolite. Kẻ được mời nhưng mà không nói gì hết, không nói gì hết, chỉ ngồi ăn thôi. Thực sự nó cũng hơi impolite. And so think about other behaviors, But mainly people being impolite when they infringe on others' rights, xâm phạm quyền lợi của người khác. When they infringe on others' rights. Like for example, if you jump the queue, you infringe on the rights of others. Shoppers, for example. Nếu mà mình chen hàng lấn hàng, tức là mình vi phạm, mình xâm phạm cái quyền mà đi mua sắm của người khác. Cái quyền mà người ta đứng đó người ta chờ, mà trong đó mình chen hàng. Of course, that's infringe on others' right, and that's really bad, I think. Also, think about other behaviors, Now, who are more polite? People from cities or those from the countryside? Why? Người thành thị hay người ở vùng thôn quê lịch sự hơn vậy? Tại sao? Think about people often ask intrusive questions, Hỏi những câu hỏi đụng chạm or nosy questions. Những câu hỏi đụng chạm hay chĩa mũi vào chuyện người khác. I don't know why but my cat just keeps staring at me. Mèo sao cứ nhìn chằm chằm hoài vậy? Maybe she wants me to eat her. But then she doesn't want me to hold her, to cuddle her, Strange. Anyway, think about intrusive question, Like for example, when are you gonna get married? Chừng nào thì con cưới? That is a nosy question. Tháng kiếm được bao nhiêu tiền? How much you earn per month? That is another nosy question. Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Oh, well, that is kind of intrusive, I think. Actually, I do have a, grandmother from like a relative, and she keep asking me when I'll have a girlfriend. And then it has been like for 10 times already. So I was very angry and I told her, so when can I get a divorce? Có nhiều người có cái tập cái hỏi hỏi dai lắm đó. Cái hỏi chừng nào thì cưới, chừng nào có bạn gái. Xong mà tức mình quá, mình nói, vậy chừng nào ly dị? You know? And she shut up, and she just shut up, you know? You know, people need to learn manners. Con người ta cần phải học cái cách hành xử dù đã già rồi, you know? Some people need to learn manners, you know?
But
And sometimes you cannot just be polite to them, because they don't understand that,
hey, but in Asian culture, it means you so means.
I don't care because they are mean to me first, and I don't care because I don't need them, I don't need to talk to them anymore. So
And I think it's social norms that should be changed.
of course it should be changed.
But I think sometimes people consider it's like a kind of caring.
No,
Yeah,
because I think it just means that they have nothing else in their head to think about. They're very uncreative with their question, Thực sự cả đời không nghĩ được cái nào khác ngoài chuyện cưới xin, đến đúng tuổi là cưới, như một cái công thức vậy đó. Like the whole life, they cannot think of anything else besides like a fixed mindset, They have a very fixed mindset, and that is bad, Một cái mindset nó chỉ biết đúng cái công thức đó mà làm thôi, And really, it's extremely boring and intrusive sometimes. And what do you think make people polite? This is an important question. Bạn nghĩ điều gì làm cho người ta lịch sự? Think about what I just said. The nature of their job. Their job requires them to be polite. For example, if you are a service member, a serviceman, servicewoman, working for, let's say, a company, you need to be really polite. Doesn't matter if the customer is angry at you, That what happens a lot. And also, I think people are polite to you, polite with you because they want something from you. Maybe some people are polite because they really want something from you, Nhiều người ta polite vì người ta muốn lợi dụng mình chẳng hạn. Sometimes they, like for example, sales people, All right, and also think of the fact that they do not want to vex you, do not want to vex someone, làm phật ý ai đó. Cái từ vex này hơi bị mạnh. They do not want to vex people, không muốn làm cho phật ý con người ta. And also they do not want to they do not wish to make enemies, Không muốn tạo kẻ thù. That's why, I mean, well, there are other reasons, but you should think about it, try to support your view, Okay, think about this one now. Okay, Miss Brooke, please, can you describe a polite person,
I would love to introduce persons who I think
Introduce a person.
introduce a person who left a deep impressions and I think she is a truly polite person. She was my communication skills teacher when I
Oh,
was in university. Among our teachers I had, I found her to be the most polite person. She always wore a charming smile, and her behavior was gentle and composed. In my opinion, a polite person should behave in a way that made others feel respected during interactions and
respect. I mean,
respected.
yes.
Yes, and she was a perfect example of grateful and polite manner that easily left a good impression for those who communicate with her. Additionally, I truly appreciated her knowledge of culture and traditions from various countries, which help avoid mistakes when communicating with strangers. To me, she was truly a polite and adorable person.
Okay, very well. Okay, so Miss Sarah, your turn, please. Describe a polite person, you know.
Yes, one of the most polite person I have known is just my in-law uncle. He is a retired teacher and
An in-law, uncle, I say. Chú
uh,
họ, isn't it?
chú
Cậu
rể,
họ, chú họ, isn't it?
uh,
Is that how it is? Is that how is it in Vietnamese? Cậu họ, chú họ.
chú rể,
Ah, sorry. In-law means like không phải họ mà là giống như cưới xong cái tự nhiên trở thành là họ hàng của nhau. It's like that, I think.
uh,
It's like after wedding of a bride and a groom, the
yeah.
two families become in-law, you know.
Mm.
I'm not so sure what's the right way to say it, you know. What was it again?
Chú rể hoặc bác rể. Ở ngoài Bắc sẽ nói vậy ạ.
Interesting. I've never heard that expression before. I
um,
see. Okay,
yes,
please continue.
he is a retired teacher and um, I don't know what make it to be quite polite. Maybe because of his career, but he when he speak with the when he talk with the young people in my family, he he really listen to us and s- so uh listen to us and never interrupt our talking. He also
Our talk. Dùng
our
talk
talk,
thì danh từ được. You can use talk as an adjective, as a noun, yeah.
yeah, our talk, and he really replaced our opinion and never try to give the personal give the enforcement advice to us, and especially in some kind of family argument situation. Argument situation, he also saw his politeness clearly. He he will try to
Control. He would try to control.
control his emotion and keep silent to avoid uh, a fighting with brother and sister. And because I witnessed many uh, many
Yes.
situations like that over time. So I really respect him, and I believe he uh
Very
a
polite person.
highly
Likely.
lively
Likely. What would you like to say?
um,
Em là sao?
He is likely example of how polite people are.
Here's a shining example, một ví dụ sáng chói. A shining example of how polite someone can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, of how polite someone can be. All right, very good. Now, Mr. Ripley, so what is the standard of being polite then? What do you know? I think we talked about this one before.
Yes, I also remember that. Things the standards of being polite varies various and it depends on cultures, but generally it's about showing respect, uh,
Respect.
respect,
Respect.
respect,
Yes.
and awareness of
Awareness.
taking of other.
Mm.
So, for example, when people are going eating out together, a polite person usually is, um, consider what others have enough eating tools or something like that to make sure everyone's have a wonderful time together without anyone's being left. Yes, I think it's examples of being politeness.
Of being polite.
Of being polite, yes. And they they usually re- uh, make everyone engage in the general conversations, just as especially when dining with others.
When dining with others, yeah, sure. That's important, I think. You should never make noise when you eat, something like that. Không được gây tiếng động, tiếng ồn khi ăn chẳng hạn, something like that, I think. Oh my God. I don't live in North, but my family has a northern root. So I understand, like, wow, it's just northern root. Góc Bắc. So I understand that there's a lot of standards of being polite in the North. For example, when you are having meal with others, you should always understand your position in the family. Like your position in the family. Giống như là cái vị thế mình là ai trong gia đình đó. If you are a young person, you should never eat in the same say the same place, in the same you should not eat together with like elders, for example, unless your position in the family is equal to them. Giống như cái vị thế mình, ví dụ như là bằng tuổi mà trẻ tuổi ok ngồi mâm dưới, nhưng mà người trẻ không được ngồi lên mâm trên, giống như là một cái luật bất thành văn luôn đó. It's like something that is a rule. It's a standard, một cái chuẩn luôn rồi. And also you should never make noise when you eat, of course. And you should never be the first one. If you are younger, you should never be the first one to eat, That's what the North is about, It's very strict. Nếu mình trẻ tuổi hơn người trong bàn khác, mình trẻ tuổi hơn người trong bàn thì không được lấy thức ăn lần đầu tiên, và để người khác lớn tuổi hơn lấy. It's like there's a lot of rules like that I have to remember when I was younger. Well, it wasn't pretty, and I'm sure Sarah can tell us more rules, more standard of being polite. Sarah, can you tell us the standards of being polite?
I think that there are no kind of standards for being polite
Mhm.
because it depends on the specific situation and the people
Specific,
opinion.
on a specific situation, right?
Specific situation
It
and
depends
people
on the
opinion
specific situations.
or
Specific.
spe- spe- specific
Specific ngâm 3.2.
specific
Specific.
specific situation or people culture or their relationship
Relationship.
relationship, yes, but basically there's still some
There's
common there's still
there's
some common behavior uh, considered like a normal standards, such as the punctuality,
punctuality, you mean?
punctuality, punctuality, or
Punctuality.
yeah,
Punctuality. Punctuality. Sự đúng giờ, timekeeping.
yes, and repeat other when they are talking.
I understand. Anything else?
Yeah, that's all from me. If you want to know about northern standards,
London.
northern standards, it depend on family and also depend on you. Like, for example, like what you said before, when people tend to ask a personal question.
Question.
Question. Yeah, question. Yes.
Personal
And
questions.
if follows the traditional standards, you you have no permission to reply directly to them, uh, like like that. But nowadays people change their young people also change their opinion, and they don't prefer some kind of
We fight back if we feel like it doesn't fit our mindsets.
yeah.
Well,
So
if it doesn't
everything
fit anymore, then we have a right to not answer, of course.
yeah.
Có quyền không trả lời. Yeah, of course we have a right to not answer because they were rude at first, you know. Họ rude, họ đã thô lỗ lúc đầu tiên thì why should we be polite to them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see the reason why we have to be polite to rude people, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, it's different. I also tend to fight again like that before, but so far I keep silent because
I
I
don't want to
think
pick up a fight with them, you know, again. Không muốn pick up a fight, không muốn gây lộn.
yeah.
Pick up a fight. I don't want to pick up a fight. Gây gỗ. I don't want to pick up a fight with them unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Don't want to pick up a fight unnecessarily. Không nhất thiết. Không nhất thiết phải pick up a fight. Unnecessarily pick up a fight with them. Nó đến từ chữ necessary. Cần thiết. And of course, it's annoying, you know, when you have to talk to people like that. Anyway, so Ms. Brooke, what behavior will be regarded as impolite and why?
Behaviors that are opposing to
Okay. I think your microphone is very tiny again. Can you speak louder, please?
It's okay.
Okay. Now it's very loud now.
Yes. I think that behaviors which will be regarded as impolite usually is related to behaviors that people do in public spaces, such as um, make noise
Mhm.
in a public place. That's influence others a lot. But sometimes they don't even realize what they did, and they don't think that behaviors is equalized, and others behaviors that I think truly implies are as give wind ideas when others are talking. I know
Interrupting
that
others. You mean interrupting others?
interrupt interrupt
Inter interrupt interrupt others. Cắt ngang, gián đoạn người khác, hoặc là nó gọi là gì ta? Gián đoạn khi người khác nói hả? Ngoài Bắc nó còn nói leo. Còn Việt Nam nó gọi là gì ta? Gián đoạn người khác khi người ta đang nói, nó gọi là gì ta? Okay, it's interrupt others. Let's just let's say that interrupting others. I think it's impolite. Yes. What else can you mention?
interrupting others when they are talking make people think that they are not being listened.
They're not
And
being listened to. Yeah.
yes, and that behaviors is truly rude. And sometimes I think that when people have conversations or discuss about some things, listening to others is
Discuss something nha, không có discuss about something nha. Discuss something.
discuss something. Listening to others is truly is important and show the respect. Besides that, in uh, professionals environments, some people have a habit to teach the noise in
Ugh. Stick
other
their nose.
business.
Stick their nose.
Nose.
Móc mũi.
No nose. I mean stick their nose in others' business.
Stick their nose in others
Business.
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 Là
Yes.
chĩa mũi vào chuyện của người khác. Or you can use the word being nosy, being nosy. Nose, the nose. So nosy là chĩa mũi người chuyện người khác. Being nosy. Some people, they just love to be nosy.
Yes. They is ask intrusive questions and makes others feel triggered. As I truly hate that hate these persons, hate the peoples. Of course, I think that some people may think that their behaviors are show just show their consideration, but it's truly not.
Okay, and so Miss Sarah, who are more polite? People from cities or those from the countryside, and why? What do you think?
I I think it's difficult to say people from countryside or rural or urban area is more polite. Because because they are a lot their living location also and culture also affect a lot to their behavior.
A lot affect to hả em?
Affects a lot their behavior.
Affect their behaviors a lot.
Affect their behavior
Affect
a lot.
their behaviors a lot.
For people who live in countryside, they may know clearly about each other and frequently communicate, and thus makes their language and behavior may look less polite.
May look less polite. I understand that.
But actually, but actually, their affection is really good, and they love the way they communicate with each other. In contrast, on the urban living, people tend to repeat other personal life and don't really talk about, don't really care so much about about other personal issue. So they
Issues, you mean?
issues, yeah. So
Personal
they
issues, số nhiều luôn này. Personal issues.
issues, yeah. So
Hmm.
it may look a little in indifference.
It's indifferent means mặc kệ.
Lãnh đạm.
Lãnh đạm, đúng rồi, cái chữ lãnh đạm á, lãnh đạm tức là giống kiểu mà thờ ơ, mặc kệ người khác. Mặc kệ người khác như thế nào, kệ, indifferent. I
Yeah.
think sometimes being indifferent can help. Yeah.
Even they live next to each other. So, but in city, their behavior will consider like being polite. Yeah, it really depends on their what's
Yes.
their local no, standards.
I say the standards, the local standards, những cái chuẩn trong cái vùng đó. I think what you're trying to say is the customs.
Yeah.
Tập tục tập quán của cái vùng đó. It depends on the customs of that place, I think. Okay, so Mr. Trúc, what do you think make people polite? Because surely people are not born polite, Còn người ta sanh ra, người ta không có tự nhiên mà lịch sự sẵn đâu. So what do you think makes people polite?
In my opinions, I think that because people aren't just born polite, it's shaped by educations of their families or the environment they live. It's a mix of influences, I think. For example, uh, I want to talk about family values. Uh, their, uh, their parents and who raised them plays a big role in teachings manners, respect, and good behaviors from a young age. Beginning with please, thank you, sorry, just works, shows respect, and it's traditional social norms that should be educated at home, and they can use it when they are growing up in social communications.
Okay.
Besides that, some cultures emphasize politeness, and especially in Asian cultures, others truly value this this manner this manner because they think that polite persons can give what the values,
Can give values.
yes, others who uh, don't have, because
Hmm.
in a polite persons uh, can be teachers, can be teach, can be
Can be
taught,
taught. Can be taught.
can be taught easier than people who are impolite. For example,
Hmm.
be-
I think
because
so too. Thực sự là người lịch sự nên người ta dễ được dạy hơn là người bất lịch sự. Yeah, exactly. I do believe so too. But why do you say so? There must be a specific reason, right? Of course, because they listen, right? And they do not interrupt you when you try to teach them something, isn't it?
it's like a foundation
Mm,
uh, to improve others' manners, I
mhm.
think.
I see.
Yes.
But you know what? The question focus on what do you think make people polite, you know? So think about the reason why people are polite. Tập trung vào cái lý do tại sao người ta lại lịch sự. Can you focus on that?
And um, politeness can be educated and raised by their family. They, their families are a strong background that
Mm,
teach them about um, manners, such as, for example, politeness. And being educated often improves awareness of many things. Besides that, life experience also plays a vital role in shaping people's perspective. When
you are, I think your microphone's cut off again. Okay, try to talk louder, can you?
yes, besides that,
No, it's really loud.
life life experiences also play a vital role in shaping people's perspective for their behaviors. People who been strict ruly may miss a, a behavior to repeat that once.
Okay.
Yes. And that's why I think about how people uh, communicate with others, the ways they reflect what they receive.
Mhm.
Yes, uh, if they are being treated politely,
If they are
they
being
will,
treated politely.
yes, they will do that for others. And, uh, and I think politeness is a myth of how people raise, what they are educated, and how they are treated. Yes.
I see. Right, so let's move on to a new topic now. So this is 39. Let's try 100 something. 150. All right, let's describe a job that you think would be interesting. Miêu tả một công việc mà bạn nghĩ rằng sẽ thú vị. You should say what job it is, how you know about this job, why you think that job would be interesting, and how you feel about it. about it. Okay, so this one is about job satisfaction and job preferences, I think. So part 3, you have question like, do you think job satisfaction is more important than salary? Anh chỉ có nghĩ rằng sự mãn nguyện công việc thì quan trọng hơn là cái lương lậu không? You know, it depends on the situations of workers, I think. If you are, let's say, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, sống sống mà cứ nơm nớp lo sợ chờ tới ngày lương, chờ mãi tới ngày lương, nó gọi là sống nơm nớp lo sợ chờ mãi ngày lương á, living paycheck to paycheck, tức là không có lương là chết luôn, nó không có tiền đâu mà trả mấy cái kia á. Paycheck to paycheck, it means like you just wait until the day you receive your salary. Without it, you are dead. Literally, you really need the money. So for those kind of people who struggle, vật lộn, who struggle to make ends meet, vật lộn để kiếm sống. For people who struggle to make ends meet, then obviously salary is more important. But I think for people who does not, so for people who have a secondary income, có nguồn thu nhập phụ, secondary là thứ cấp, primary là chủ đạo, còn secondary là thứ cấp. If they have a second income or a secondary income, or they have a more than one income, if they have several income sources, có nhiều nguồn thu nhập, if they have several income sources, then salary is not too important for them. So those people, I think they will focus on job satisfaction, you know. So like, for example, if the job provides the chances for promotion, to be able to learn a lot from like very professional people, or to learn a lot from that job, you know, that is important for job satisfaction. And also they say that people choose to remain in the same job due to the superior, you know, due to their bosses. If their bosses are bad, they would not remain in the same job. I mean, according to research, that's what it is. And also job satisfaction also include working environment, you know. Mãn nguyện công việc cũng bao gồm cái môi trường làm việc. If it's toxic or if it's like educational, you know, nếu cái môi trường nó mang tính giáo dục chẳng hạn, then people maybe they would remain in a job. But if the environment is too stressful or too repetitive, you know, repetitive. Let me check this the pronunciation of this one. Repetitive. Mang tính gì? Mang tính lặp đi lặp lại quá nhiều. Like, for example, every day you do the same exact thing. That is boring and repetitive. It can be stressful as well, you know. If your job is too stressful, too repetitive, that is not job satisfaction, you know. Okay. Now, how have job preferences, nhớ là chữ preferences nha. Preference. Sự ưa thích hơn. How have job preferences changed over the years? Những sự ưa thích chọn việc nó đã thay đổi thế nào thông qua nhiều năm? Like, how people prefer to choose different jobs, that's job preferences. Like for example, years ago, like in Vietnam, many years ago, many decades ago, nhiều thập kỷ về trước, people would prefer jobs that help them earn a lot of money quickly, or jobs that can help them put bread on the table. It means the same as to make a living wage, để có được cái lương sống được, to put bread on the table. And also people would choose, let's say, job of teachers, pharmacists, doctors, engineers, something like that, But these days the job market is way different compared to the past. Bây giờ cái thị trường lao động nó khác ngày trước rất là nhiều rồi. For example, the workers who work for cleaning company, workers working for cleaning company, they do earns a lot, if they work hard. Những người làm công cho những công ty dọn dẹp chẳng hạn, Bitaski for example, Bitaski app, they earn a lot if they work hard, they can earn much more than an office, like a mediocre office worker, mediocre office worker. Cái chữ mediocre có nghĩa là tầm thường, nhưng mà cái chữ đúng ra phải là bình thường, or an average office worker. An average worker on office, I think they earn from 5 to 8 million Vietnam đồng, I think. Bây giờ vẫn là 5 đến 8 triệu một người lao động mà bình thường trong văn phòng, phải không ta? Yeah. So if you are really working hard for a clean company, you can earn up to 20 million, So the job market is different now, so job preferences can change. Thấy nhiều người có bằng đại học đàng hoàng hết mà kiếm không được việc, họ đi làm mấy công việc này thôi, nhưng mà họ kiếm được nhiều tiền. I've personally know some people who have a university degree, yes, but they cannot find a job. They could not find a job, so they chose to be cleaners. At least those jobs are not stressful. Mấy công việc nó không có căng thẳng. And there's not much responsibilities either. There isn't much responsibility either. Nó cũng chẳng có đòi hỏi trách nhiệm quá nhiều nữa. So there are other job preferences. I think some people, they prefer to work from home these days. Job preferences also include where you work, like work from home or work in an office, work from home in a cafe, or in an office, or on the street, Those are job preferences, Like if you are a police officer, you can work in an office or you can work on the street. It depends on where they put you. But the main thing about this question is you have to focus. How have job preferences changed over the years? You have to compare the past and the present. Mình phải so sánh cái quá khứ và hiện tại nha. Người ta thích công việc nào hơn từ trong quá khứ đến hiện tại. And then what factors influence someone's choice of career? Những nhân tố nào ảnh hưởng đến cái sự lựa chọn nghề nghiệp của một người nào đó? I think this one we know the answer. What jobs are considered prestigious? Wow. Prestige. 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 What is prestige? Prestige is basically sự danh giá. Công việc nào được coi là danh giá? Prestigious. Prestigious. Mang tính danh giá. Công việc nào được coi là danh giá trong đất nước bạn? What job I consider prestigious in your country? I think in the north of Vietnam, if any family who has at least a cousin who is a police officer, I think that would be considered prestigious, I think. But I'm not so sure about now. Maybe it's different. Before, people used to think that freelancers are absolutely not prestigious. But I think it's changing now. Ngày xưa ta nghĩ là mấy người làm tự do giống kiểu vô công rồi nghề, you know? Nhưng mà bây giờ khác lắm rồi. It's different now. And people used to look down on freelancers, you know, or cleaners. Con người ta thường ngày xưa là người ta coi thường những người mà làm tự do hay là những người làm dọn dẹp nha. Đó là chuyện ngày xưa rồi. But that is decades ago. Now it's different. You never know. Your cleaners might be owning a house already while you still renting. Nhiều khi cái cô dọn nhà cô còn giàu hơn mình, cô đã có nhà riêng rồi, trong khi đó mình vẫn ở thuê, you know. So it's different compared to the past. Now, prestigious job, can you think of something? Okay, so like for example, people used to think that being a pharmacist is prestigious. That's why my father, he told me to go to medical school to study to be a pharmacist, you know. But these days, there are so many pharmacists in Vietnam now, so the job is no longer prestigious. And many people wanted to, they quit their job, you know. Hồi xưa, nói chung là ba John cũng hướng John đi học dược nhiều, nhưng mà tự nhiên bây giờ nó ra quá trời luôn. Nhiều dược sĩ quá, cho nên là nó bão hòa, cho nên là bây giờ nó không còn prestigious nữa đâu. Well,
Doctor thì vẫn hot.
sorry?
I mean, the doctor is still kind
Still a
of
hot job? You think it's still prestigious?
yes. In
Oh,
the
I think somehow it's still prestigious, yeah.
Mm.
So I still think that many people want to become doctors because it's prestigious. They think it earns a lot of money, you know. But no, you have to work so hard. Oh my God.
Yeah, but at least you have chance to make higher income.
You can only earn higher income if you are popular enough. If people know you enough, you know, in the field. Thực sự công việc nào cũng vậy. Con người ta biết mình trong cái ngành đó thì tha hồ mà kiếm tiền. Nhưng mà ngành nào cũng được. I mean, any field, I think. Okay. So how do you think automation will impact, động từ impact future job markets? Anh chị nghĩ rằng sự tự động hóa sẽ tác động đến thị trường lao động trong tương lai thế nào? Wow, sounds like a question in a beauty contest. Nghe như câu hỏi thi hoa hậu đó. Thí sinh nghĩ rằng sự tự động hóa trong tương lai sẽ ảnh hưởng thế nào đến thị trường lao động trong tương lai? You know, something like that. Okay, automation, think about that this way. When there are a lot of machines that will do the job for you, they, like for example, think about AI, artificial intelligence. People are so afraid that AI, artificial intelligence, will take away their job. And already is. It already took away a lot of jobs already. However, it also forces people to continue their learning, you know. They have to keep on learning, otherwise they will lose their job. I think automation will forces people to learn IELTS more. You know, that's what I think, you know.
No, but actually, I heard that there when for language translator is maybe affected by AI.
A lot of language translation apps, yeah. It might be affected by AI. Yeah, I don't agree. But the companies, they will also require workers to know more languages. I don't think it's going to be different, you know. Thật sự là đòi hỏi lúc nào cũng đòi hỏi là biết nhiều ngôn ngữ này nọ, không bao giờ nó khác được đâu. I don't think it's gonna be different. Okay. Also think about jobs that are repetitive jobs. Những công việc mang tính lặp đi lặp lại nó sẽ thay thế hết nha. Repetitive jobs like working in factories or data entry. What is it? Data entry jobs. Những công việc nhập dữ liệu, nhập liệu. Data entry jobs are basically like very basic, you know, những công việc cực kỳ cơ bản. And it's very repetitive. Very repetitive. And also, I think I'm waiting for the cleaning robot, you know. Đang chờ hoài mua cái con robot có thể mà nó dọn được cái nhà cho mình luôn. Because home cleaning is actually very repetitive and it is tiring, you know. I'm willing to spend up to 100 million Vietnam dong to buy that robot if it works, you know. If it works for a long time too, I will buy it.
Maybe.
Sorry?
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe difficult and you may need to wait for a long time to.
You know, Elon Musk is trying to make robots like that now available for the market, you know.
What do you
And
think about?
sorry?
What do you think about does make people become more lazy?
Oh, come on. People will keep on learning and people will have to do other things. Like, for example, they will have to learn more. Will have to have more time for art, you know? Of course,
Because
lazy people are everywhere. And if they're lazy, these machine will make them even lazier, you know? I agree with you. But on the other hand, it can help people a lot. They can have more time for learning, to have more time for their loved ones, have more time for doing arts, for example. But focus on the fact that how will the future job market be affected? I think mainly a lot of people will have to change their job. They will lose their jobs, you know, they will become unemployed. Mainly, I think it's like that. Okay, you have some time to think now, class. Okay, Miss Sarah, can you start first? Can you describe a job that you think would be interesting?
Yes, I think being a librarian is interesting job. Interesting. I have a chance to know about that when I visit my school library and when I observe people I saw the librarian almost spend time for herself and don't really need to or to be in other like in other job. I consider that school is kind of positive environment and
Positive
positive
environment.
environment. Yes, and when you work in library, you don't really need much interaction with your
Colleagues.
colleagues, colleagues, and you don't worry about the outside
Colleagues.
colleague,
Colleagues.
colleagues.
With your colleagues.
Yes, and you can spend more time enjoying for reading the famous book without other interruption.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting job.
I see. Okay, Miss Trúc, please, your turn.
A curve that I think is will be interesting is psychologist.
Oh, psychologist.
Psychologist. I'll note about this job
Psychologist.
psychologist. I knew about this job when I was a child through watching
Bác
TV
sĩ
ram.
tâm lý hả?
Yes,
I see. Because psychologists basically have to learn a lot, many years. Còn chuyên gia tâm lý nó khác nha. Psychologist actually is a doctor, who specializes in psychology. Okay, anything else?
yes. I knew about this job when I was a child through watching TV dramas about doctors, and they all was very interesting and exciting. Of course, I think it is a demanding and challenging job because this job require our strength to dive into the human mind and understand others' thoughts through behaviors and speech
And speeches?
and speech. Yes, better than the average person. However, this job requires calmness, empathy, and strong listening skills because they have to careful,
Have to
carefully
be
listen.
careful. They have to carefully listen to.
They have to carefully listen to their patients, especially the ability to stay connected and
And
not be
connect.
yes and not be affected by their patients'
Đúng rồi, để không bị ảnh
negative
hưởng bởi
emotions.
bệnh nhân, không bị ảnh hưởng đến bệnh nhân, không bị ảnh hưởng bởi bệnh nhân. Very good.
Yes, I find these professions are admirable and very interesting.
I do find it interesting too. It's like you're trying to trying to climb into the mind of people. Giống như mình trèo vào trong cái đầu của người ta. It's like it's like that, and try to fix the problems in there, I think. But most problems of people roots from actually comes from their family, Phần đông vấn đề của con người ta đến từ cái đầu, đến từ cái gia đình người ta mà. I think. And it's difficult to fix that root. Nó khó để chỉ cái gốc rễ lắm. Okay, now, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so Miss Sarah, your turn. Please describe a job that you think would be interesting.
I already said about that.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Now, so Miss Sarah, do you think job satisfaction is more important than salary?
I don't think that job satisfaction is more important than salary, especially in this model life. People need to buy everything. Buy everything they couldn't produce product like before, by themselves like before. Especially if you live in the city, in the urban area, there's no chance for you to uh, supply the um, the necessary essential thing by the self. So yes, salary is really important. And it's maybe considered the first factor
I
in
think it's the most important factor.
your job satisfaction. Uh, I think less people can consider about other things
Consider
like
something. Consider something. Careful. Consider.
uh, other things such as environment,
Hmm.
working environment, or um,
The chances for promotion.
yes,
The chances to learn new things.
promotion or the personal development.
I say. Okay, very good. So, Ms. Brooke, how have job preferences changed over the years? Let's compare the past and the present now.
Since job preferences have changed a lot over the years, that shaped by technologies and generations norms. His if talking about job markets nowadays, it seems that people's uh, trends from stability to high status, uh, and to trends from stability and high status to flexibility and fulfillment. Why Whereas in the past, people often wanted a job which were stable, long-term job, like work for governments, organizations, or large corporations, for example, with security for their position. But nowadays, especially in young generations, they usually prioritize work-life balance with flexible schedules because they want to enjoy their life more than think about
More than thinking about.
more than thinking about stable uh, a stable family.
Hmm.
Yes, I think it's prioritize the individualism, indivi
Individualism.
individualism. Yes,
Individualism, tính cá nhân. Individualism. Mhm.
is yes, especially in the way they work.
Exactly. So basically, people are trying to work freelance these days, you know.
Yes, and something it changed about what people think.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes money first, then job certifications uh be left uh, be left behind
Mhm.
because they think that if they have a higher salary, they can
Endure.
endure a toxic environments. It's sometimes it depends on what people really want. And I think the young generations nowadays seem to be quite practical.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right.
And
So practical as they are, their job preferences is way different compared to their parents or grandparents, I think. Nếu mà so sánh với lại những thế hệ cha ông thì thực sự là job preference bây giờ nó khác lắm luôn rồi đó. Like for example, many people in Generation Z or Generation Alpha, they would prefer to be a YouTuber or a TikToker or a social media influencer, you know. They would prefer that job over like an office job. And I understand why. I do understand why. So, Miss Sarah, so what factors influence someone's choice of career? What do you think?
I think there are many factors influence someone's choice of
Career.
career like
Choice of career.
yeah, choice of career, but basically it's based on two main factors. The first is their personal lifestyle. Someone
Prefer.
prefer to have a stable job and stable job and um stable job and stable job and career as no
Career.
salary. Yes, so they may prefer to work at the office and stay for a long time with a company. But as a who who one who likes the mobility, they tend to choose a job gives them more chance to travel or more time, more more day off for themselves.
More day
Yeah.
off for themselves, I say. Of course, I think the first choice, of course, salary. The second choice, I think a lot of people, they want to work for big corporations because of prestige, you know. Bởi vì cái sự danh giá, nhiều người khoái làm cho những công ty tập đoàn lớn, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, big companies means a lot of rules you have to follow and a lot of things that is, you know, it's just a headache. Rất nhiều thứ nhức đầu lắm. There's a lot of headaches when you work for big companies. So these days, it depends on what you value the most. Nó tùy vào. It depends on what you value the most. What you value most in a job. Nó tùy vào con người ta chọn cái gì nhất trong công việc thôi. Chọn giá trị cái gì nhất trong công việc thôi. Like if you value salary the most, yeah, or if you value prestige the most, or if you value job satisfaction the most, something like that. Ví dụ như mình muốn làm việc ở một cái công ty ở cạnh bãi biển chẳng hạn. Something like that. That is job for job satisfaction, I think.
Some people choose to work in Da Nang instead of Ho Chi Minh City.
Because of job
Because,
satisfaction?
yeah, because they want balance life and a personal life and work, and so their view is a bit not like people who work in the office in the business.
All right. So what do you think, Mr.? What jobs are considered prestigious in your country? Since we talk about prestige, yeah.
yes, since up until now, have been certain professions that
There have
people
been certain professions.
and have been certain professions that people admire and regard as more noble and prestigious than others, such as doctor, business, uh, business, and high-ranking officials.
High-ranking
Yes,
officials?
yes.
What do you mean?
I mean, uh, people who work for government with
Ah,
a high positions.
I understand now. I see.
Yes, and uh, it's average about high educations and social influence. Yes, it can be very it can varies by cultures, but in general, I think that quite adapt to normal social uh, thought. For example, doctors who were said who seems as a life-saving because they help others cure people from this disease.
Mhm.
Of course, it requires many years of study, refined skill, and of course, they have a heavy responsibility because if they have any mistakes, especially uh, especially serious mistakes, they can they have to responsible
They
if
have to be responsible for that, yeah?
they have to be responsible for that. However, be, however, um, because these requirements, they can receive high salaries and be admired by many people. Just think about being a doctor. They receive ad- admiration, and people respect them a lot.
Okay, so talking about prestigious jobs, what do you think, Miss Sarah? What jobs are considered prestigious in your country, beside from doctors and pharmacists and teachers?
Mm, yeah, uh I think in my country the jobs that are considered
Prestigious.
prestigious
Chính là thầy
prestigious
bói.
prestigious.
Yes, fortune teller. Fortune teller actually is a prestigious job in Vietnam, the Vietnamese culture, fortune teller.
I I don't think so.
Thiệt luôn á. I actually think so because I don't think people are ready to mess with fortune tellers. They don't dare to do that. Con người ta không dám đụng chuyện với lại fortune teller đâu, thiệt luôn á. So because of that, I think people are afraid of fortune tellers sometimes. And I do think that Vietnamese people spend a lot of money to go to fortune tellers, I think. So in a way, they are prestigious. Một cái cách nào đó, thực sự vẫn nghĩ là fortune teller là prestigious job. I think so.
Cái này cái từ uh, prestigious này nó có danh giá, có nghĩa là được biết đến nhiều hay là nó kiểu nó được tôn trọng ở trong xã hội ấy?
I think prestigious means it's respected, and
Vâng.
also prestige means like it's hard to get into, khó để mà vào cái nghề đó. And many people wants to do that job, nhiều người muốn làm nhưng mà rất khó đi vào cái nghề đó nên mới danh giá được nha. Tỷ lệ chọi rất cao nha. Like very high competition rate, something like that, prestigious. And also of course well respected, đương nhiên được tôn trọng cao rồi đó. The word prestigious means a lot. I think one job that is going to be very prestigious, it's nuclear reactor, nuclear engineer, I think. Một cái công việc đó chính là kỹ sư về nguyên tử hạt nhân đó. Nó sẽ là cái nghề mà giúp Việt Nam phát triển ghê lắm luôn á. It will be a very prestigious job because it's hard to get into. And it's vital for further development of Vietnam, I think. Nuclear engineer. And also,
Scientist.
sorry, scientist. Yeah, of course, scientist. Any kind of scientist. Okay, so Ms. Brooke, how do you think automation will impact future job markets?
Of course, I strongly believe that the labor market is influenced by automation around a lot. It's becoming increasingly harsh, and because unskilled labor is gradually being replaced by machines and even artificial intelligence in the not so distant future. For those with a pessimistic outlook, this shift has already caused hundreds of millions of people to become unemployed.
Well,
Yes.
because they didn't care about learning new things, their fault.
Also,
If you continue learning, you will not be unemployed soon,
no, but some people are too old to begin new things. But it's also a small group because development is the only way to not being outdated.
Exactly, I agree too.
Of course, I still think that this transition could open up opportunities for those who working in creative fields. They can receive better treatment and benefits because their job requires something that artificial intelligence can do that. For example, more in fields of creations and as such as writer, designer, yes, even people in service.
In the
That's
service sectors, yeah.
in was client service. Yes, I think that requires a human interactions. Might be see more demands and better based if society needs them. But the challenge will be how people manage this transition. They have to invest in educations, upskilling, and
What education and what?
Upskilling.
Upskill. Oh, I see. Upskilling. That's a very nice thing to say. Nâng kỹ năng, sự nâng kỹ năng. Upskilling. Education, upskilling. I understand that. All right. Very good. Very good expression. They have to upskill, otherwise they will not remain employable. Not remain employable. Nếu không thì họ sẽ không còn được thuê mướn nữa đâu. They will not remain employable. So what else can you add? Okay, nothing. Okay, then Miss Sarah, what do you think? Do you think automation will impact future job markets?
Yes, I think automation will affect future job markets in both the both sides. Firstly, in the advantage side, the AI,
artificial intelligence
will uh, will
will
will have to select and keep the necessary job in labor market for the jobs for the simple job for the simple and repetitive job
repetitive
when be replaced by
will be replaced
by automated
automated machines, you mean?
automated machine.
Machines.
Automated machine.
Machines. Automated machines.
Yeah, so and artificial intelligence also supply the model tools for people to improve their knowledge
To improve their knowledge.
and learn faster.
Learn faster.
Yeah. And learn faster. That will lead to
We will need to
a productive labor force.
we need to have a more productive labor force.
Yes. But on other hand, the appearance of automated machine also
automated machines
automated machine also takes a loss of employment. If the economy couldn't create the new job, it will affect to
affect nó rồi.
That will affect human social stability.
Social stability. Nó ảnh hưởng đến sự ổn định xã hội nha. Social stability. There will
be more unemployment and unemployment.
Okay, very good. There will be more unemployment for sure luôn á, chắc chắn luôn á, there will be more unemployment, and because of that more crime, you know, nhiều tội phạm hơn nhiều luôn á, tại vì nhàn cư vi thì bất thiện. More unemployment, more crimes, that's for sure. Okay, I think that's good enough for today. 150, right? I should write it down. 150. All right, so it's good for today now. Let's end it here.